steps, stepping up security in New York City as well. Elizabeth Cones, our senior medical correspondent. What are you seeing? What are you hearing about triage efforts underway right now dealing with the injured?
Hi.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I don't know if you can hear me. Are you there?
Yes, I am, Wolf. I am
All right,
here.
so because we see injured, we know some of them have been taken to hospitals in the area, but there are other triage efforts, I understand, underway right now as well.
Right. As we understand it, this is a huge event. I grew up in Boston. I've been to this event countless times. The presence of medical staff is very obvious and very apparent. You can go to the mayor's blog, and a week ago, he wrote about the number, or someone wrote about the number of staff, 50 extra EMTs and paramedics, 4 physicians, ambulances, medical tents, bikes. So this is a place where there is already a big presence of emergency medical staff. Now, obviously, you want to get people who are really injured to a hospital as soon as possible, and there are many great hospitals right there in that area, but it is good to know how well staffed that area right there is.
And so there's a lot of doctors, nurses on the scene just to deal with some of the runners who could collapse as a result of running 26 miles plus. And there is some of the dramatic video that we're showing our viewers of that one explosion that occurred right near the finish line at this marathon. And we're getting word from some of the hospitals that individuals, Elizabeth, have already been brought into the emergency rooms, and they're being treated.
Right. So we're getting word that that is happening. And of course, in a place like Boston that has such a well-organized medical system, these emergency rooms are already on alert because this is a huge event. And so they knew even before this that they needed to be ready to receive people. Now, they weren't thinking about an explosion. They were thinking about other, heat stroke or orthopedic injuries. But at least they were there and they were staffed and they were ready to handle large numbers of people. And so, again, this is very close to several different hospitals. For example, Mass General Hospital, which is, one of the nation's most prestigious hospitals, is quite close to this scene.
It's an amazing event, and Mike Brooks, it could just be an infrastructure explosion, as I've been saying. It could just be something from a gas pipeline. It could just be something from some sort of steam or generator or whatever. But the coincidence happening on Patriots Day in Massachusetts, a major event, the Boston Marathon, another major event, opening day of the Boston Red Sox over at Fenway Park. It sounds suspicious to me.
Wolf, if we could go back to that picture we just had up there just a second ago from our CBS affiliate right there on the scene, where you see a thermal event and you see it looks like a large amount of smoke. That picture right there. If you look at that, that says to me it looks like some kind of explosion. Again, it's hard to say whether, it's a steam explosion, but you look at the smoke. You look at that white, grayish smoke, and you look at that thermal event. That's something of size. Now, if it was going to be in an electrical vault or something like that, you would most likely have more fire than this. It would continue on. As we've seen, it would blow other, caps off of the sewer system, off of the steam system. So, but looking at this picture, I'm sure that that bomb experts and the FBI Explosives Lab down in Quantico, everybody's going to be taking a look at this to try to figure out exactly what happened. And there on the scene also, you have teams from the FBI JTTF, Wolf, that are out for special events like this. And they're able to go and do a diagnostic test. They could probably already know with fairly good certainty what was the source of this explosion, because you can go around, you can take a preliminary swab to see whether there is any explosive residue, those kind of things right there in the immediate area to say whether or not this was an incendiary device or if it was an explosion dealing with infrastructure.
And we don't know the answers to those critically important questions. We do believe that law enforcement